Hey guys, we are working on our ACE constructed responses, and we're in part two. Our guiding question is, what is the ACE approach? And at the end of the lesson, we'll be able to use prove it to me language and the ACE approach within constructed responses. So, as we've been talking about in this unit, constructed response questions make up 35% of possible exam points. So, we will be using prove it to me language within our response. And our key learning is that our topic sentence should include the main idea of the passage. So, I've been talking about prove it to me language, and we used the ACE approach yesterday. So by using this approach in our writing, you will ace your answer every time. Statistically, if you score a 3 on every constructed response question, you'll be set up to earn proficient on the Keystone exam. So ACE is just very similar to our race procedure. So it's assertion, cite examples, explain. So, number one is to make an assertion. That's to begin with a sentence that must be proven. So, remember, when we're responding to a question, a constructed response, we're using prove it to me language. So, it's a sentence that must be proven. Then you're going to cite an example on the keystone, and that means to pull an example from the passage. You can either quote it or paraphrase it and explain your examples using prove it to me language. So you should have pulled 5 that you want to have in your pocket. And we're talking about a 3-point response, which means you're giving 3 reasons in your constructed response and proving them. So we're going to take a closer look at ACE. So we're going to give a step-by-step example. This prompt is similar to one you might see on the Keystone exam. We're going to analyze how the facts used in the article contribute to the author's objective. Use examples from the article, The Rising Price of Coffee, to support your analysis. So you didn't read the passage, but we're focusing on ACE, not the passage. So assertion is the author believes that the price of coffee has reached exorbitant levels because national coffee retailers are taking unfair advantage of their customers. So you can hear how this sounds like a restatement of the main idea. Then you're going to cite examples. First, according to the author, the United States imports most of its coffee from Brazil. So we have this prove it to me language. We see that first. And we're explaining, since gas prices have been rising, that's another prove it to me word, the cost of importing goods from other countries has increased, resulting in greater prices from the consumer. So that's another prove it to me language. So then we cite again, furthermore, the article states that there's also a terrible drought in Brazil. As a result, these extreme weather conditions, bean crops have suffered, causing a premium on pricing. So we're citing another example. In addition, retailers are seizing the opportunity to raise prices and blame the bean shortage for their increase. We're going to explain. Even though retailers are seeing only a 4% increase in their costs, they are passing the cost onto the consumer with an 8% increase. This is a 3-point response because it begins with an assertion and then it gives us 3 examples. So we have an example, an example, an example. And then it uses all of the underlined phrases are prove it to me language. That is explaining how the facts contribute to the author's objective. So, what we're going to be doing is you're going to be working on coming up with your own response for the question. Is it necessary? Explain why. Prove to me that it's necessary for students to have access to their cell phones while at school. Use examples to support your answer. So, you should be picking some prove it to me language. So, here are the examples. These will be attached to your assignment as well. You will be working on responding to the prompt with your best 3-point answer. Be sure to use 3 of your prove to me statements. So our guiding question is, what is the ACE approach? By the end of the lesson, you'll be able to use prove it to me language and ACE approach within constructed responses.